Stugotz is hiding in plain sight over there with audio-proof glass between us because he doesn't want any parts of offering to take a Michael Venom Page kick for $1,000. He made the choice recently, but doesn't want to actually do it. It's nice to see you. It was nice to watch you work against Kevin Holland. He's a veteran fighter. He's tough. He's respected by all. You're 22-2 in your division. We were talking before you came on. You're a bit. You must be a bit insane because I don't think. I don't think people who do what you do for a living are sane. But how much damage would you do to him if you were trying to do damage to him with a leg kick and he was standing in front of you?
Well, the fight before this fight, I stole someone's kneecap basically with a kick. So that's a fully trained fighter. So I'm sure I would.
You stole his kneecap.
He's laughing. He's like,
well, it is a bit crazy. I don't think people understand.
$25,000.
I don't think people understand. Your body is a weapon, correct?
Yes, definitely trained weapon.
And a trained weapon that does its most damage. Like if you had to damage someone the most with something of that ilk, what would you produce?
Well, I've damaged a few people. I think my most famous finish, I caved somebody's head in with a jump knee. So that's probably the worst thing that's
sounds painful.
I've done.
It seems like a horror.
Yeah.
It seems like so does this sport choose you or did you choose it?
You know what, I'm going to say it chose me. No, to be fair, it's a bit of both. So martial arts separately, just being involved in martial arts is a family thing. My mum did it, my dad did it, my siblings all do it. So martial arts was just, that chose me. But in terms of going into a professional sport from there, I made the decision to go to mixed martial arts specifically.
How many brothers?
There's quite a few of us. There's 7 of us all together.
There must be legendary fight stories in your youth. What are the age differences? If you guys get into a fight in your youth and everyone's trained in the mixed martial arts.
To be fair, we started in kickboxing, and my sister's the oldest one, and nobody messes with her. So if we even started an argument, the second she walks into the room, it's game over.
Did anyone dare to mess with the family?
Nah, not really. You mess with one, you mess with all. So,
so when you cave
definitely
in,
not.
When you cave in someone's face afterwards, is there sorry about that? Or
yeah, no, of course. I always say we have a fight persona. That fight persona is you turn into something. You go to a dark place, or you turn into something that is an alter ego of yourself. But when you come back out, you're back to yourself. It's very different. So, obviously, when I'm going in there, you don't regret anything in that moment.
Can you explain this part to us, though? Are you talking about something primal there? You're talking about something that do you even recognize who? Well, now you've gotten comfortable with that person,
Yes.
but you're talking about a predator who is preying for money.
Oh, 100%. Where, to be fair, I think it's less about the money. It's just I always say just the experience of walking out into a cage, into a crowd, and facing an opponent and winning, that feeling of winning as well, it's a drug. It's a drug in itself. So we don't take away the money. I guarantee you the majority of people will still do it, that are in at a high level. They'll still want to do that and then just have work at the end afterwards. But it's just there's something about it that is just addictive.
So where do you keep the stolen kneecap?
We gave it back. So he's fixed it.
It's interesting the way you describe that because Ray Lewis described football as you don't pay me for Sundays. You get Sundays for free. Monday through Saturday is what you pay me for. The preparation is what you get paid for. You're saying the Coliseum spectacle shit. Can I be better than another man? And we're stripped down to nothing but our tools. You're saying that's the best a person can feel.
That's the best a person can feel. It's a very egotistical sport. Most sports are, but this one is different. Somebody's really trying to take you out. It's not about a game that's being played. It's someone's trying to take you out, and there's a lot of ego involved. And yeah, we're just trying to be better than that person in front of us.
Do you sort of fancy yourself as a modern day professional hunter of humans?
It's a good way of looking at it. The thing is,
Is it?
I still see. Nah, I still see
He's
it.
Predator?
The question is crazy.
I mean, but he's 22-2 in the fighting sports. He's as good as there is at the top of I fight you, and he's saying it's not even for money. I fight you because I like the challenge of fighting you. I don't think you can beat me at this weight.
100%. No, it's a good way. I do enjoy it I do see it as a sport. I think I've done it so long now that I don't, even when I'm speaking to people about my performances, some people are looking at me like, what? You're trying to hurt somebody, but I don't. I see it as a game.
How does it work in everyday life with you? Because your hands and feet are lethal weapons, right? When somebody picks a fight with you who doesn't know who you are, you're not allowed to use those lethal weapons on the street, right?
Well, we are.
Do you?
Take it back. That's a bad question.
No, I didn't ask it right, apparently.
That one's wild.
Like, when you're not in the octagon, you can't get into a fight because you might kill somebody.
No, of course. The thing is, the good thing about being trained is, and like I said, the being in the cage is a massive part of your ego that you have to use. Second you leave the cage, it's a massive part of your ego that you don't care to use anymore. We have to do that every single day. I get to challenge myself with my teammates every single day. Going out to somebody I'm usually the guy that will talk everything down. Like, oh, come on, man, that's fine. I'll buy you a drink, guys. It's not that serious. Like, I'll calm everything down because I have nothing to prove. I've done it before, and somebody's found out after the fact who I was, and he's like, "I'm so sorry." That he was like, "I didn't even realize you." I was like, "No, it's no problem. We don't lead with ego," and you find that a lot with fighters. We exert that button a lot in the gym, so we don't need to use it.
That's
outside.
interesting. You're talking about the emotional drain of it too. By the
Yes.
time you leave there, because you're fighting other people who fight for a living,
Yeah.
you don't even want to do. You're more work. I got to do more work.
Tired. I'm out here to have fun now. Right now, this is my downtime. So I don't need to cross into that.
I want to
again.
talk about the alter ego, though, because I don't think anyone listening to this quite understands the mixture of fear, courage, everything required to, I'm going to fight in front of a bunch of people. I've trained for months, and so have you,
Yep.
and now I just need to be better than you. And one wrong move, and I'm embarrassed by the internet
Yep.
for a long time because
Yeah.
I've gotten knocked out, or I've gotten my kneecap stolen, or I've got my face caved in. Can you explain to me the mentality? Because I don't think any of us understand what that is.
Yeah, it is really difficult, and I think a lot of people. This is why I think this is the difference between being at the top and being amongst the numbers. Because if you can't perform in that moment, because there's certain guys that we have in our gym, and I've seen and heard stories about in other gyms that are exceptional in the gym, unbelievable in the gym. But then when you go out to the crowd, and it drains you, and they just can't perform in the same way that we see every day in the gym. There's something else that you need. That you have to dig deep. You have to be comfortable being on show and comfortable with exactly that. These things that could go wrong. And I always go through a phase of I allow my negative thoughts to come through. Like, man, I could get knocked out. And, especially with my style, people love to hate my style. They love to love it, but they also love to hate it because it's showy. People don't always like the show off guy. So, I can get knocked out. People are going to be, the comments and this and that and that. But I allow myself to go through that. And then I'm like, no, but I'm the guy, man. I'm that guy. I can do this. And then I finish on that. It's like I start with a negative and finish, but instead of trying to avoid it, because sometimes it stores up inside you, and then it just makes you struggle. When you get into the cage, let's say you get hit once, and then all those negative thoughts start to come in that moment, and now it's hard to avoid while you got this guy.
You've reached real confidence.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's bliss. That's for a fighter.
Yes.
That is real confidence. Doesn't mean it's not fearless, but for you to be aware of what the fear looks like and be like, yeah, that's normal, but I'm
Yep.
better than this person.
Yep. And everyone has to have their own process. And, I can explain mine, but it might not work for you. You need to understand yourself. And it's been years. It's taken me many, many years to understand the process for me. And, yeah, I feel like I've found, where it's worked and I execute as best as I can.
MVP, I was in the building on Saturday night when you came out, the Undertaker music, doom, everything went purple.
UFC, and then lights go dark, then the light goes on back in the cage, and my figure is standing in the cage, and everyone's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? He's in the cage already, Everyone's just like, what? Everyone's cheering, okay, yeah. And it's the intro, the Undertaker song, then the lights go switch off again right as the track drops, and then I'm in the same position, lights off, lights back on, and I'm exactly the same position. It looks like I've just done a magic trick, and I've just switched, and I've just randomly Undertaker style just come from one place to the other, and then that same walkout would have come. The music drops, and I would have. But they were like, "Chill, it's your first time, man. Just relax."
It's like, they don't want you to become too big a star. They want the prices to be reasonable. I mean, you've noticed what a lot of people in your sport have, that if you have some showman in you, if you can talk a good game, if you can embrace the marketing of it, and in some ways be disrespectful to the reasons you chose the mixed martial arts originally, you can sell a fight by disrespecting everything you actually care about here, because I'm guessing you have some purity of warrior spirit.
Oh, 100%. Like, you strip everything away. I started in Laogar Kung Fu. It's a very respectful style. You walk in, you have to bow to walk into a room, you bow to leave the room, you bow to your fellow students, you bow to your instructor. Everything is show respect first, yeah? And then later on, as I'm doing the competitions, I start to learn how to be creative and entertain. But the style of kickboxing I did was called freestyle kickboxing. It's like going into a sports hall and there's just matted areas everywhere and everybody's competing for attention. So there was like an unwritten rule where, you try to show off a little bit without, and no, there was no disrespect. Everybody it was just a thing that everybody would try to do. And it got to the point where the second I stepped on the mat, because they knew I had antics in me, the whole competition stopped, because the referees wanted to see what I was going to do. The other fighters wanted to, and they're ready to fight, but they're like, no, I want to see him. And it got to that level. And all I'd done was, when I crossed into the mixed martial arts world, I just continued. I said to myself, if I'm going to do this, I have to do it in my style, my way. Otherwise, I just don't want to do it.
Michael, if I came at you looking for a fight and I was armed with a pencil, how long would it take you to kill me?
Is it sharpened?
Yes.
Yeah, sharp pencil, yeah?
Yeah, sharp.
It's as sharp as a pencil can get. Yes.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
What?
To kill
1
him?
second.
It'd be a head kick
I have a
shot.
pencil.
How exactly?
He would be dead within the seconds. It wouldn't take you
Presumably,
9 seconds.
You're using the pencil against him.
No. You keep the pencil.
Wow.
It makes
So it takes
makes
you
it
very
one
nice
second
of
to
you.
kill
somewhat more
a
even.
non-fighter.
What if he had 2 pencils?
Now,
How?
2 seconds.
A second per pencil.
Thank you. Congratulations. I don't think people generally understand how difficult it is to do
Yeah.
what you guys do. I won't even ask you about how poorly they paid you in your last fight, because I wish you had full freedom to negotiate in a way that gets you guys paid better than you're paid.
No, here's the thing for me, and everyone said, do you find that you took too long to get to the UFC? And I feel like always say my path was chosen for me, and it's chosen for a reason. And because of the noise that I made outside, it allowed me to be paid really well coming into. So I'm
Because
in a good place.
you come over from Bellator and you
Yeah.
had established your star,
Exactly.
you're a value who was able to come up
Exactly.
another level because you're as skilled as they have in the UFC.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Thank you for being on with us. We appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you guys. It's been amazing. Thank you guys.